Good afternoon. My name is Franklin, and I'm trying to complete the project 2 for financing for development, World Bank class. And my topic today is based on the financing for fishing as major export for Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone is a part of the fragile countries. And this is the financing schematics. I hope you understand. I hope to allow you to understand it. IDA PSW for fragile countries, in this case Sierra Leone, can attract government and private investors in three ways. One, they can create guarantee by mitigating private sector's risk, as you can see at the schematics. Also, they can also use grants to entice both private sector and non-government agencies. And on this, they can use the domestic capital market investment, such as bond and insurance, to attract both government and the government of Sierra Leone and private sector to mitigate risk and generate more funds that can be channeled towards the small scale and middle scale fishing. And another way also to attract the investors and of course the government is for IDA, PSW, the World Bank, to help create local credit. The use of creation of local credit incentive, the IRDPA can work with government of Sierra Leone to help create local credit for investors and small and middle scale farmers through local banks. This will generate confidence, as you know, in between the government, the investors, and farmers, because more, of course, government policies or that will be favorable for investors can also be created through this means. By these three means, investors, government, and of course non-governmental agencies can actually channel all the funds to the fishing industry by creating grants that can go directly to investors or that can go directly to the fishermen and also to the industry and make it more profitable. Currently, there's about 65% of the population in Sierra Leone who are, of course, employed or directly or indirectly employed by fishing industry. And we believe that if more funds are channeled towards this, towards the industry, that the market will increase, that employment, of course, will reach up to 95% of the people in the country as the business or the industry is more organized. Currently, the video can actually indicate how the local fishermen are conducting their business. Fish is dried as a method for preserving it for longer, so that it can be sold to the communities in the interior of the community. As you can see, these are dried outside, obviously exposing the product to possible diseases or even bacteria. Another way of them also preserving the food is by smoking it. And this is all because of lack of access to um, refrigerator, and of course freezer. If you look at these are most of the these are pictures of the women. Why? In addition to providing employment for fishermen, fishery provides essential employment for almost 230 people in Sierra Leone. Women in particular rely on the fish as a key source of income by running fish smoking or cooperatives and taking the fish to the market. So as you can see, potential of income or increased income is actually possible in Sierra Leone. The fishermen are limited by the scale of their equipment and able to catch relatively small quantity in comparison to the trawlers. Um, as you can see, the picture can actually indicate the source or how fishes are caught in Sierra Leone. The fishing industry in Sierra Leone is largely based on a small scale, as you can see, artisan fishery. Fishermen often use small dugout canoe, which they paddle by hand to reach their fishing ground. That makes you wonder how actually can they make money, or where would they put their fish? Unlike in the industrial countries. Most of the fishermen the areas close to the coastline is preserved for local artisan fishermen, and it's called the inshore economic zone. As you can see, the government actually are aware of this particular of these farmers, small farmers, and the objective is to crop or to tap the potential of these farmers into making it more profitable, or making them, of course, more useful and more profitable. Their equipment currently they use is these. Nets are extremely valuable, and fishermen often take out loans to buy them. They can cost as much as their entire salary, as they also do other work. I want to emphasize the three areas where actually the seafood industry concentrates in Sierra Leone. We have the tuna factory, which is the fishing itself. We have the oyster farming, and also we have the shrimp farming. In these three areas, there's potential for massive employment, massive revenue creation, and if, of course, investments are made. The financing for development in Sierra Leone can create a lot of benefits, both for individual and for the government. With funds available, co-ops can be created that will incorporate all small and middle-scale fishermen. It can also help create a well-organized business in which members will be accountable, and also accountable both to the investors and, of course, to the government. It can create a preservation system to help preserve and increase production. As you actually see in the earlier screen, where we had the fish being dried outside, there should be a much better way to preserve, like buying refrigerator, coolers, and freezers that can freeze the fish for long lasting, and of course help protect and protect from any kind of health injuries or health scare from eating it. It can also create increase in the income among the cooperatives, among the women. As you can see in the earlier screen, you see the women at the market. These funds can actually be used to make more they can sell in a larger scale and be able to feed their family and of course, live a comfortable life. It can create more employment for more citizens, as you can see. As more funds are channeled or grants are granted, and investors taking bold steps in investing on the people, they more funds can be created. And of course, better organized business can be done. By doing so, also, the government can now create new policies that can create more jobs. More businesses can be created, like packaging industry, which is a preservation industry, which currently does not exist. It can also improve the government revenues. As you can see, all the small farmers that are there, that are on the pictures, such as this gentleman, the government does not know that these gentlemen or the citizens here in this area are actually fishermen. They are not accountable to the government because whatever income they make is not even sufficient for them, talk less of them paying their taxes. As I said earlier, the problems as of today is most of the businesses are small scale fishing, and it's limited to number of the population. The fish farmers only make a small or limited income, which actually is not good, and even the revenue, and government cannot even tap into their own revenue, cannot tap into the citizens' revenue if they are small scale or if they are not organized. So the purpose of this topic actually is to find way in which to generate a well-organized business, both industrially, so that most government will benefit, investors will also make money, and the citizens of Sierra Leone can also help in generating funds that is sufficient for them and their family, and also production of more food to the general populace of the world. I hope that this is enough to actually help to solve the problem of Project 2. And I hope I'm able to convey my message clearly. As you can see, this is my first time of doing this, and I hope I was able to succeed. Thank you, and God bless.